The hunger is a white wolf, gnawing at the bellies of the Sky Spear clan. For 2 moons, the prehistoric world has given them nothing but wind-scoured ice and the bones of long-dead things. They are a people of the mammoth steppe, Paleo-Indian pioneers and a band of giants. But their fires are shrinking and their children no longer have the strength to cry. From the high ridge huddled in firs that do little to blunt the wind's teeth, they stare down into the valley below. It is the last place of hope. Down there, a great herd of bison antiquus moves like a slow, brown river, their breath plumbing in the frigid air. It is a walking promise of fat, meat, and warm hides, enough to see them through the winter's cruelest passage. But the valley, this last larder of life, has a guardian. They call it the ghost that hunts. A lone, male short-faced bear, an Arctodus simus of monstrous size. He is not like other bears. He stands taller than 2 men with legs impossibly long and built for pursuit. He does not lumber. He strides with a terrifying ground-eating pace. 3 days ago, Biowar and Len, the clan's 2 bravest scouts, went down to test the valley's edges. Only Biowar returned, his arm hanging by threads of sinew, his mind shattered by what he saw. He spoke of Len being run down in open ground, the great bear moving with the speed of a panicked elk before it watered him from his feet like a child's doll. The beast did not even stop to feed. It was a message. This is my valley. This food is my food. Now, the ghost that hunts patrols the valley floor, a pale, hulking shape against the snow. The clan watches its movements, a ritual of fear and frustrated desire. Their most advanced primitive technology, the atlatl, can send a spear far and hard enough to pierce a mammoth's hide. But against this creature, it is a wasp's sting. It is too fast, too large, its fury too absolute. They are trapped in a paradox of survival. The food that can save them is protected by the death they cannot overcome. The valley is not a refuge, it is a baited trap, and they are the intended prey. In the back of the rock shelter, Territorial watches the hunters. He is old, his hands gnawed by a lifetime of shaping flint, his legs too weak to join a hunt. But his eyes are still sharp, missing nothing. He sees the despair in the young men's faces and the hollow look of the mothers. He does not watch the bear. He already knows its patterns, its speed, its arrogant dominance. Calculating depths of his mind, a plan begins to form, a desperate, terrible equation where survival is the answer, but the price has not yet been calculated. Territorial gathers the hunters in the heart of the cave, away from the wind that keens like a grieving mother. The fire casts their shadows long and dancing on the stone walls, making them seem like giants, a cruel irony given how small they feel. He uses a shard of flint to sketch in the packed dirt the curve of the valley, the dark slash of the kill cliffs, a circle for the bison herd. We cannot kill the ghost. He begins, his voice a low rasp, yet it cuts through the fearful silence. So we will not try. We will use its own strength, its own rage, against it. The hunters exchange uncertain glances. This is not the talk of warriors. It is the strange, twisting logic of an old man whose hunts are long past. The megafauna of this land are ruled by 2 things, hunger and pride. The ghost's belly is full. Its pride, however, is boundless. His plan unfolds a thing of terrifying complexity. It requires not brute strength, but perfect timing, the clockwork of courage. 2 teams. The first, the Hornets, will be the 3 fastest youths, including Biowar, who craves vengeance. They will carry nothing but noisemakers and a single atlatl with a blunted spear. Their task is to enter the valley from the east, to be seen, to be an annoyance. You are not to fight, Territorial warns, his gaze locking on to Biowar's. You will throw rocks. You will shout. You will launch the spear to strike the ground before it. You will challenge its rule of the valley, and then you will run as if the sky is falling. The second team, the main hunting party led by the Territorial, will use the distraction to sit behind the Bison antiquus herd, guiding it with hidden movements and the scent of predators on the wind, pushing it inexorably towards the bone-breaker cliffs. Kill drives a spear but into the dirt floor. Old man, the ghost is not a fool. It will see the greater prize is the herd. It will swat the Hornets aside and turn back. The other hunters nod, the flaw in the plan seeming as vast as the valley itself. Terrikai looks at Kale, a flicker of something unreadable in his eyes. You are right. A simple distraction is not enough. The ghost's rage must be made personal. It must be goaded until it forgets the herd, forgets everything but the insult. He explains how the hornets will lead it on a chase into the tangled western scree fields, a place where the bear's size will slow it, buying the hunter's precious time. His logic is sound, his knowledge of the beast's behavior absolute. The desperation in the cave is a tangible thing, a force that grinds down doubt. These ancient humans, these human ancestors, have only one path forward. As the hunters prepare their gear, testing spearheads and securing furs, Terrikai sits alone. He watches them, his family, his future. The plan he shared is a masterpiece of foresight, a testament to a life spent studying the rhythms of prehistoric life. But it is incomplete. He knows the bear's fury and its stamina. He knows the hornet's speed will not be enough to hold its attention for the entire, agonizingly slow stampede. There is a missing piece to his equation, a final variable that must be introduced when the bear's rage is at its peak, a final law. One that cannot run. He reaches into his furs and his fingers close around the smooth, cold stone of a hide scraper, its edge honed to a razor's sharpness. His face is a mask of calm, but in his mind, he is already walking his final path, down into the valley of red snow. The world is cold air and burning lungs. Bor and the two other hornets are a blur of frantic motion, their taunts swallowed by the vastness of the valley. The ghost that hunts flows after them, a walking avalanche of bone and ivory-colored fur. Each stride of its long legs eats the snow-covered ground, and the hunters survive only by darting through thickets of frozen alder and over rockfalls where the bear's massive frame cannot easily follow. A dance on the edge of annihilation. The bear's roars are not simple sounds, they are physical things, shockwaves that hit the chest and rattle the teeth. Its rage is biblical. This is its kingdom, and these tiny, fleeting creatures have dared to mock its throne. Miles away, on the far side of the herd, Kale and the main party move like ghosts themselves. They are the silent counterpoint to the hornet's chaos, using painted hides to blend with the snow, their movements economical and precise. They work the edges of the Bison antiquus herd, a gentle, relentless pressure that the ponderous beasts barely notice, guiding the river of brown fur towards the cliffs. The plan is working. It is a miracle of bone-deep terror and icy precision. But the ghost is intelligent. Its fury is vast but not infinite. It slows, its massive head swinging back towards the bison. It feels the subtle shift in the herd's direction. Bor sees the change. The moment the predator's focus wavers, he screams a warning that is torn apart by the wind. But Kale hears it in his soul. They are out of time. The bear is turning. And then, from the rocks near the valley center, a new figure appears. It is Terrikai. He is not running. He moves with the slow, deliberate pace of an old man, hobbling out into the open snow. The bear freezes, its attention locked on this new, impossibly defiant figure. Terrikai raises his arm, and in the pale light, the hunters see the glint of his sharpened hide scraper. He does not throw it. He draws the blade across his own forearm, a swift, deep cut. Shockingly red against his skin, and the white snow wells and drips. He anoints a nearby boulder with his own knife, a sacrifice to the god of this valley. The scent of it carries on the wind, a personal, ultimate insult. This tiny, frail thing is not just challenging the bear's territory. It is marking it as its own. In that moment, the bison herd, the hunters, the entire world ceases to exist for Arctodus simus. There is only the insolent creature and the blood it so arrogantly spills. With a roar that cracks the very air it charges. Terrikai does not flinch. He simply stands his ground, his eyes fixed on the cliffs, watching as the first of the great bison, panicked now by the thunderous roar, tumbles over the edge. The feast is a quiet affair. The fires burn high, fueled by bison fat, and the scent of roasting meat fills the caves, a smell of impossible victory. Every belly is full for the first time in months. They have a mountain of meat, a wealth of hides, a future. But there is no celebration. Each bite is seasoned with the memory of Arctodus' final stand. They have fed the clan, but they have lost its mind. Gale sits apart, staring into the flames, the weight of Arctodus' final lesson settling upon him. They had all been focused on the spear, the atlatl, the physical tools of primitive technology. Arctodus had shown them the ultimate weapon, a mind willing to see the entire board, to understand the brutal arithmetic of survival, and to calmly write itself out of the equation for the sake of the answer. This is the seed of what will allow Homo sapiens to conquer a prehistoric world that should have crushed them. Not claws, not speed, not strength, but the terrifying, brilliant, and heartbreaking power of calculated self-sacrifice. His was a death that purchased 100 lives, an act of altruism so profound it borders on the divine. A turning point in hominid history. It is the understanding that sometimes the only way to save the village is to offer the beast a king. For in the long winter of the world, survival is not the story of the fang that is sharpest, but of the mind that is sharpest, and the heart that is willing to see it break. But hunger is not the only monster the ice holds.